Greetings again, everybody. Welcome back to Demon's Crest. This time we're gonna do something, but more on that later. Because last time we found something amazing, the Demon Fire. And then we found this, which is even better. It's just about as strong and it halves all the damage we take. Much like the Armor Talisman, and they stack. And oh hey, look at that guy. He recognizes us now. Can't kill him though. The attacks of the legendary gargoyle, which is this fellow, actually also function like the buster, so it can break breakable blocks. But maybe we'll see that at some point in the future. First, there is something I've been holding off on doing. There's a minigame in this game, I alluded to it, but we have to do it now. It's right by that lake here. If only I could actually land inside it. Well, the instance we have to do is here. This is what we need to complete the game. There are two other, versions of this minigame. They're easier. One of them is in one of the houses on the world map. The other one is on one of the islands. And you might be wondering what exactly we have to do here. It's not exactly amazing. Let me explain the rules to you. Basically, there's skulls appearing and we have to headbutt them. And if you watch closely on my money, yes, this did take me a couple tries and I did edit out all the failures, so... But yeah, there isn't much to it. You jump around and you headbutt, and it's usually best to just head for the one that's closest to you instead of for the one that's there the longest, because there's a good chance that that one will disappear by the time you're there. You have to headbutt a set amount of skulls before the torches on the right there are all extinguished, so be sure to be very fast. Kind of like this. Basically, you can do this as soon as you have access to the world map, so if you want a life up quick and have a bit of money to spare because it's 20 GP per try, yeah, you can just do this and have one more over health, and we now only have one more missing. Maybe we will even get that one in this video, who knows. Now, we've completed all the locations, so there's only one place to go. We've been there once already, though that was in an aborted timeline. And the place looked different back then. This is Phalanx's castle, and he had some more time to furnish it now, so it actually looks like something. And there's actually a level attached to it instead of just a boss fight, and yeah, those stupid arrows or bolts or whatever, they even damage us if they're stuck in the ground, which is kinda dumb. And now, last time I used the imp, it kinda failed, so let's see if we can make some use of it. It at least attacks the enemies, but it doesn't really appear to be very useful. Because we have to be very close to the enemies for it to actually go for them. And by that point, we might as well just shoot them and kill them ourselves. And wow, we're not really far in, and there's already a boss fight. But we've already had that fight twice. So what's different for the third time, you might ask? Well, he's yellow or golden, and that's basically it. He still uses the exact same attacks. He might take a couple more hits, or rather, he might have a couple more hit points, but it doesn't really matter because we have a much stronger attack now. So he will go down rather quickly, and as a reward, of course, we'll get nothing because it's just a mini-boss, or rather a mini-boss. A re-fight? No, re-fight, yeah. But yes, full health refill at the very least, which we won't need much of, because with the legendary gargoyle, we only take half damage, or rather we have a green health bar on top of our red health bar. With the armor too, we get, well, half damage, so we can take a lot of hits now. Of course, the legendary gargoyle doesn't exactly have any special abilities. He works just the same as Firebrand, only he takes less damage and, well, does deal more damage. So for everything else, as for maneuverability, we might have to switch a little bit. So look there, a bell. We just rang it. I wonder what the purpose of that is. Ah. And now we're at full health. At the fullest even thanks to the armor talisman and the legendary gargoyle's health boost. We can now take so many hits it's not even funny. But yeah, nothing really special about this area here, so we're just gonna fly over it. You might have noticed it briefly when I used the legendary gargoyle to traverse it as far as I could. But there's wind blowing here. This has also happened in the towers, but we didn't really notice it there. But the aerial gargoyle actually isn't affected by the wind at all. And there's another bell. Of course, it holds something very interesting for us. Well, not really. But anyway. Yes, we're up a tower and we're going to go down one. This can be easily done by just dropping down. If you wish, you wouldn't even have to dodge the enemies, you can just tank all the hits. It works out, trust me. After all, as demonstrated, we can now take a fuckload of hits. And I'm not really sure what the purpose of these enemies here is, because we can easily avoid them with absolutely no trouble at all at this point. There really isn't much purpose to this room except for padding, I'm sad to say, because there's no enemies that can actually do damage unless we purposefully run into them. But oh shit! Gravon is back. But hey, this time of course we can take just about, well, 4 times as many hits of him, so it's not like it's gonna be much trouble to us. And we also have a much stronger attack this time. I reckon he's gonna take about 8 hits before he goes down, maybe a little less than that. Because look at his color, he's already going dark. And this, my friends, is what I call a trick shot. Well, I call it a trick shot, but I was actually just leading him. But yeah, just in case, another full health refill. Just before the final boss fight, which is right through this door. And this place looks familiar now. This is definitely where we've been before and where we fought Phalanx, of course, in that aborted timeline that never happened. And this time around, he doesn't even say that he wasn't expecting us yet. In fact, he's been waiting for a bit. Makes me kind of wonder how long it actually took us to complete those 2 or 3 more levels. Must have been quite a while, to be honest here. But yeah, the fight with Phalanx is exactly the same as last time, only he dies faster this time. Much like the other fights we've already seen before. Only this one technically isn't a refight, because, well, we haven't beaten him before in this timeline. Now obviously, this wasn't even his final form. There's more to this. Now, granted, I just told you that there is more to this, but for a guy who just got his ass kicked, he's awfully confident in his abilities. And another palette swap from the looks of it. Now this is Phalanx with the power of heaven, or rather the crest of heaven. There's quite a few things new to this fight. The most obvious thing is the water. Ironically enough, it actually makes the fight easier. Like, we could just tank him, really. With the legendary gargoyle, which is what you will be using, and the armor talisman, this fight is probably a joke. Because the water makes it rather easy for you to get up. You could also use the aerial gargoyle. However, if you were so inclined, you could also use the tidal gargoyle to swim in the water. And yeah, if you get sucked into that black hole type thing, you'll just be stuck there. And when he blows you towards the spikes like that, don't worry, as long as you hold right, or rather press away from these spikes, you will survive. And he's dead already. This was kind of a disappointment, and oh, don't be like that. So he's now gonna pull an armor on us and lock himself away into the Crest of Heaven. Which sadly, we can't use. Now that would be awesome, wouldn't it? But now there is no further form, or rather, there is. There really is. But to see that, we have to 100% the game, and we didn't quite manage to do that this time. We've been missing exactly one item. There's another talisman, if you looked at the menu screen closely. And we'll be getting that next time. I kind of missed it. Maybe even on purpose to show you this. So much like with the last ending I showed you, I think I will just let it speak for itself. I'll be seeing you again when we get the good ending of the game next time, but for now, just sit back and enjoy.